Okay, and here we are with Joyce Keller, world famous psychic and intuitive counselor. I've known Joyce for years, and she is truly one of the best, most authentic readers of the etheric energies, if you will, that I've ever run across in my life. So I believe that she has some really great information to share with us today. How are you, Joyce?
Excellent, excellent.
So,
Thank you, Lane. Thank you
so
so much for having me. And I
oh,
return the compliment to you. You're outstanding in the field. It's
would that
remind
be
me,
in
but
the fields of clover? Or which field would that be?
it's any field that you choose, the etheric field, whatever you wish. You're
Oh, thank you.
outstanding. I thank you.
Thank you so much. So we had a wonderful chat with the Arcturians last week. Excuse me, that would be Arcturians, which I hope to get posted to the website as well. But so you told me before that you already started getting some channeled information. So what's going on?
Well, first of all, what was the Arcturian conversation? Was that with me or someone
Yes,
else?
no, with you.
Okay.
I know sometimes, so we'll tell the audience so you don't sound like you're crazy. When you go into channeling mode or when you go into trance, you often don't remember any of it. So
That's right. I was wondering if it was tomorrow. Well, look, your show
no,
is
this was from last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now.
okay.
The time flies. And no, the Arcturians came through loud and clear, and they gave us a lot of information about the corona situation and what the world is going through, and the trafficking situation, the stuff that's going on underneath the scenes. So we did talk about that a bit, but I don't want to divert you. So you had told me you were already getting some information.
I received a lot, and I unfortunately forgot a lot of it, but I'll do my best. Thank you,
Oh,
Elaine.
well, let's get
Thank you. Okay, look, there are two different ways you can take this. The first way, which is a conventional way, which I do not really advocate at all, is the Bill Gates way, where he has aligned himself with Dr. Fauci, the ultimate. Well, he started out as a pharmacist in Brooklyn, which I don't want to beat up too much. He was a pharmacist delivery boy. His
You're talking
dad was
about
the pharmacist.
Fauci, obviously. You're talking about, right?
Fauci was the delivery boy,
Mm-hmm.
and he was born in 1940, and he has aligned himself with Bill Gates, and they are best buds, whether anyone knows that or not. And their plan is to make billions. And Elaine, I don't know if you've already discussed this with your audience. Their plan, the Fauci Gates plan, is to make billions of dollars with drugs and most of all vaccines, which we do not want. They have come up with a new drug as of yesterday
Oh,
from the
goody.
Gilead pharmacy. It's called a remdesivir, and
Okay.
it has saved many people. It will say that, and it's to its credit. There were quite a few people who have been sent home with 100% wellness after having the virus, and they were strictly on remdesivir from the Gilead pharmacy. So that is on the bright side. There are some good notes here.
Can I, if I interrupt you, will I interrupt your train of
No, do
information?
whatever you like. I'll bring it back the best I can. Go ahead. Oh, by
No.
the way, tomorrow is Hitler's birthday,
Oh, goody. It's just nothing but
so
fun
that's
and
April
games.
20th. Now, tomorrow is going to be a big burst of
Uh-huh.
some kind of negativity on the planet. So I want people to
No.
dig their heels in and know about that.
Well, then
420.
everyone has to raise the vibration and blanket that situation with love and light and bring in the positivity. Reverse it.
Absolutely. Okay, what were you going to say? I'm sorry, I interjected
Okay,
with Hitler.
so the remzevadine, which I have
It's
not,
called remdesivir.
remdesivir, is that obviously they can make a big buck from that, unlike hydroxychloroquine, which is has outlived its patent and is available for virtually pennies. Would you say that the new one is more effective or the same?
Well, I don't know. I can't really tell because I don't have the information about that. But I only can tell you that remdesivir has helped many people, and I do not know what it costs. It could be a lot or a little. I really don't know because that information has not been released yet.
Okay, the
So
the hydroxychloroquine, aside from being very, very cheap, is really just a twist on quinine and zinc. So
Drink quinine water. Don't get the kind in the supermarket. Get real
yeah,
quinine
the real
water and
quinine.
combine it with zinc. And of
Sure.
course, you should be taking massive amounts of vitamin D, which is really not toxic.
Right.
And you that and or go in the sun, like a combination along with vitamin C. So it's vitamin A.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take a heck of a lot of A, but combine it with C and D, ACE and D. Those things are very, very important for the immune system. But that's not even what I want to talk about. I
Okay.
don't know how much time we have.
We have as much or as little as you would like.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. I wanted to say there's a conventional way, which I just mentioned, which is the Bill Gates way,
Yes.
which makes billions of dollars for Fauci, who, of course, should have been kicked out a long time ago. But, Trump is very cautious and he's working carefully. And eventually, I predict that Fauci will be eliminated, but he'll still be hanging right in there with Bill Gates and they'll still be making billions. So be aware of that whole situation. Then, if you take the metaphysical approach, which is the way I think it would be far wiser. There are a lot of crazy things entering into it now, like transhumanism and things we don't want to talk about because that just clouds the issue. The main issue, what we should be dealing with now, is the raising of our consciousness. Look, this is all our own fault. What's happening now is a global reset, as you all know. It's because we were resistant to change. We clung right in there with the third dimension of go to work every day. The mundane, let's just do it day after day, the same thing, and let's just watch the news on TV and go to sleep and have sex. So all of that really was not helping the planet. So it was our own fault. And now what has happened is we have gone into a period of time known as the quantum change, or call it whatever you will. It's similar to the Mandela effect. A lot of crazy stuff going on, which is forcing us out of the mundane. And by the way, mundane, in case you don't know, means ordinary. The mundane third dimension into the fourth, which is a vibration of love and healing, which the planet really, really needs. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I've always been under the impression that 4D is where the Dracos hang out, whereas 5D is where we really want to be and beyond.
Yeah, the fourth dimension, I don't know about the Dracos, but I do know that, I'm probably sure for Draconians, I'm not sure, but it's like it should be a love vibration of connectivity as we connect the third to the fifth dimension, which is where we want to go. Right now, a lot of vibration coming in from the 10th dimension, which is very, very high. And that's the age of robotic creativity and activity. We're going into a really robotic age, which has already started thanks to Amazon delivering stuff. Yeah, we'll drop it off. You feel free to interrupt any time.
Yes, I'd love to interrupt. Okay, so you said we're receiving 10D energies, and that we're also simultaneously going into the age of robotics. Feels to me like the age of robotics is more of a 4D situation, and what we want to do is skip it completely and to evolve and to not have to deal with this really awful AI where they're wiring us up, basically, on every level, trying to, in any case, create a more automaton, you know what I'm trying to say here, an automatronic race of slaves.
Exactly. Right. Yes. This is what the isolation is all about. I mean, you can't even blame Bill Gates. He's just a manifestation of it. But the real, what the ascended masters really would like for us, the creative planetary energy, would like us to move out into, as Lane just said, into the fifth and primarily the sixth and beyond dimension, which is one of love, creativity, being aware of what fellow man really, really needs. When I say man, I mean men and women. It's a time of quantum energy. It's a new age of new energy. Okay, you can say, well, maybe robotics is very bad and it's taking away the humanism, taking away our jobs. Yes, it's all part of the planetary reset. Feel free to jump in. I'm sorry. Did you want to say something, like?
No, I'm listening. You said something very, I think, intriguing for people who aren't familiar with this concept that we've manifested Bill Gates. And I know what you mean by that because I'm familiar with, how these things work. But could you explain it a little bit? How did we manifest him?
Did we actually manifest Bill Gates? I don't know. I mean, he was here doing his nutty thing right from the start of his life, so I can't say we really manifested him.
You said we weren't awakening quickly enough, which I completely agree to. I mean, we those of us who have been trying so desperately to awaken humanity have been banging our heads against the wall, figuratively, and so this coronavirus situation has put people into a situation where they are, if not more receptive, their defenses are down, they're bored, they're surfing the internet, they're questioning the civil rights issue about, whether or not they can go to the stores or not. So they're more open, they're questing. So when you say we've manifested Bill Gates, it could be that we did. We manifested
the energy that he and Fauci are working with at this time. That's what I meant to say. That they're just not only a manifestation, but really a toy for humanity to deal with. Like they're going to play around with Bill Gates and Fauci for a while. But that's just a diversion. That's not the real issue. The real issue is one of the ascended teachings of the planet. And as you said before, the Arcturians coming in and saying, hey, people, wake up. Come on, this planet needs to evolve. You're still basically at the kindergarten level, even those egomaniacs who feel that they're doing so well and they're into ascended teachings. The fact is that they probably are. They're doing better than most of mankind that's stuck with religion. But that doesn't mean that we're all doing so well, because we're here at this time to see the transition. So I don't know if that answers your question. It probably does not, but I can't help it. But it's like I don't remember what you asked.
I didn't remember either. I'm thinking about the ascended teachings of the planet and how certain aspects of things have been corrupted, like the Akashic records. I heard recently have been actually for quite some time. Been corrupted.
Please tell me about that.
We're dealing with so many issues right now. We're dealing with, some will call it converging timelines. Some will call it going, that we've gone into the future and we've come back again. Some believe, now my head is buzzing like crazy. So whoever's here is like saying yes. Or so
they all want to speak through you.
But I'm not adept like that the way you.
Yes, you are. You really are.
I'm not there yet. So
no, but people are being turned into mediums now because we need that.
Highly, highly, highly intuitive and probably psychic. Not just me, but a lot of the people that I do work with on a regular basis. Everyone's becoming far, far more psychic than we ever had been in the past. But
they're out of control. They're out of control.
Now I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so with all these converging timelines, some people even say that Trump is from the future. Look at the picture of his uncle John Trump, who is a spitting image of what's his name, Julian Assange. Absolutely, put the photos side by side; they are twins.
Interesting.
Right, that he's working with Tesla technologies, and then there's all these other anomalies that some people acquaint with as you said, the Mandela effect, which is really just screwy timelines, right? Everything's like bumping up against each other. Things are falling off, coming back, so what am I trying to say here? With that crazy timeline back and forth business, somewhere along the way, either the Dracos or the reptilians or the bad guys, the Archons, I'm not even sure, there's so many layers of badness, somebody went in and messed with the Akashic records. That's the point.
Really? Did that really happen?
I thank you. I was very, very upset when I heard that.
I can't believe that that's true, because there are the keepers of the cosmic library, which we probably visit most nights when we go to sleep. And all the information is there, but we're connected to our bodies with the
Well, there's been a number of instances that the bad guys have claimed to have done this. And there was also an incident, I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, where I thought that was the case, that they've messing things up, which is why, you remember I said to you, I refute karma. I no longer accept karma because, for one reason, I mean, there's multiple reasons. I believe karma now, I believe it to be a program, that we buy into this having to come back and fix things that we may have already fixed. And if they're fooling around with the Akasha, then we may have already lived the lifetimes of balance. And we may not need what we think we need, or they've stuck some bad stuff in there that we never did.
Okay, so you have overlapping timelines. I got it. Here's the thing. This is what my guides are telling me.
Thank you.
If it is true, which may or may not be the case, because there are keepers of the Akashic record that I don't really think would allow that kind of poppy poopy stuff. It's like we're going in and messing up. I don't believe that, but I also have two questions for you. Do you feel that the earth is a school? And if so, if you eliminate karma, which only means teaching or lessons, how can you be on the earth? Would it be strictly for service?
Well, so to answer that,
I would love the answer.
At one time, I did most definitely feel the earth was a school. And then something shifted, and I realized that a lot of people, and I would put you in that category myself, have come here for a very specific reason at this point in time. We have converged. And it is the uprising of humanity. It is the victory of light over dark. We've been at this point multiple times. And this time, however, we are going to push it over the top. That's why we're here. I personally, I'm always trying to improve myself. I'm always using everything as a lesson. And that's the other reason I refute karma, because I have it under control, I believe. Every time I do something that maybe is just the slightest bit out of harmony, I'm aware of it.
Okay, so you're saying the earth is not a school, which may
it is. It is a school for some people, and we should all be learning. But my main purpose is not to be in school right now. My main purpose is to push this uprising of humanity over the top. Now is the moment in time. We cannot do this again. This is it.
That's why you're the Aquarian, Arcturian leader.
Yeah, but there's a lot. I mean, I'm not the only one. You are here also. There's a lot of people.
Please, you're embarrassing me. No, really, I really think that what you just said is so profound. You have to repeat it because it was so beautiful. You brought a tear to my eye. Go ahead, repeat it.
I have no idea what I said, but
I'll repeat it for you. You said that normally the earth is a school, and people are here in the third dimension to learn and to go to school. Okay, now with the incoming of the fourth, fifth, and beyond dimensions, it's no longer the school that it was. It is now a place of light and service. And you just proclaimed yourself correctly to be one of the people who are saying, no, this is not a school for me. I'm here to show you the way, and that's what I'm here to do. And it's up to you to share in that joy with me and to share in those teachings with me. And I think that's what you said. Is that correct?
Yes, except for showing the way, because I don't necessarily know the way. All I can do is be it and experience it and radiate it and
sounds the same.
Follow my highest sense of guidance as you do yours, and just keep moving forward.
Oh, look, what you said is fine, however you choose to do it, but there are people on the planet who are in school, and then of course there are the teachers. Like when we go to school, you have to be one or the other unless you're the principal, and right now we're not even going to get into that. But when you're at school, which the earth is basically, either you're a teacher or you're a student. I think that's what you said. Is that correct?
I'm going to call it wayfarer.
Okay, wayfarer. That's good. That's very good. So you're saying that the karma is strictly for the students. That's fine. I'll
No,
go
I'm
along
not.
with that.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you, I'm putting this out there. Is karma a program that we are buying into that is binding us unnecessarily, unfairly, and possibly erroneously to incarnations that we don't need? And that,
Yes.
thank you. And that's the conclusion I had come to, at which point I said, goodbye, karma. I am done.
What are you here for?
But see, I think you are insinuating with that question that we are here for karmic balance. And
No, I'm asking you, take a choice. Take one from column A, two from column B.
I told you, I'm here at this moment in time to be part of the uprising of humanity and to help it complete this time.
Excellent. Okay. That certainly is true. And that really says it all, because that's the most important thing that I've heard in a long, long while. So as one of those people that you just described, what would you tell the people, if you could give a message to the folks on Earth, what would you say now?
Well,
Don't listen to news on radio and TV, right?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Well, I think the people who are who will be listening to this will probably know that already. I would imagine most of them do not listen. But more importantly, I find it's incredibly important to go within. And this is a perfect time during the Corona COVID pandemic of 2020. Go within and figure out why you are here. And it doesn't have to be as profound or as monumental as what we're talking about. Who are you? Who are you? What is it you wanted to do? Do you want to paint? Do you want to draw? Do you want to do chalk drawings on the sidewalk? Do you want to play with children and spread joy? Do you want to dance? Do you want to sing? I guarantee you, it's probably not to keep books at the local real estate office.
That's right.
Or pumping gas. Or I'm not putting those jobs down, and we all have to do that stuff in order to survive. And, that's just the unfortunate system that we're in right now that we're trying to break out of. But why and what are you supposed to really be doing? Look at this huge opportunity we have right now to not be, yes, everyone's worried about money, so push that aside for the moment and try to figure out what it is you really would be doing if you didn't have to be doing that day job, even if you're running corporations.
Didn't you and I write a book called Why Am I Here?
That sounds very familiar. I think we did.
Yes. All right. And it's available, by the way, on Amazon and
yes,
online.
I'll put the link in. Don't worry, I'll put that on down there.
Okay. I wanted to talk about some of the things that are of the third dimension that we might want to rise above. The first thing is the news on TV and radio. Although I have to say, once in a while, I do turn it on. I want to hear what they're saying. I'm curious, because if we just put blinders on, we don't know what the media is. I mean, eventually TV is going to be gone. It's going to go the way of high button shoes. But while we're still dealing with it, I think we should know exactly what kind of information they're putting out there. So there has to be an awareness of what's on TV and radio, not to absorb it, but just to have an awareness. Would you agree with that? It's okay. And also,
see, you're of a different animal, if you don't mind my saying so. You being a double Gemini, no, I mean, it's true, right? If you
I want to know what they're saying.
You arrive on that cacophony of noise and these words, rhetoric. I, being a Virgo, more contemplative and quiet, thrive on quiet. And when I hear that cacophony, and when I hear those idiots saying stupid stuff, it gives me, it causes my back to rise, and I prefer to stay in a place of harmony.
When you say stupid stuff, could you elucidate?
Oh, stupid ass! Excuse my language. Oops, we're gonna have to cut that. Nancy Pelosi. Oh, Trump killed 500,000 people. The drunk that she is, and telling everyone to go hug somebody in Chinatown. And here she is blaming Trump for murdering people. I mean, it's just blatant lies, constant stream of lies. And I'm not saying Trump is, smelling like a rose or anything like that. I'm just saying we all know this. We know the media is 100% owned by the corporatocracy, that they are the propaganda arm of the deep state. I think most people are aware of that, but they're kind of addicted to it. And they think that's where they need to pick up information, and it's not true.
Well, that's very well said. That was really good.
But you, however, are able to listen to it, hear it. You always have a radio on, you always have the TV channel on, but you're not really listening, if you don't mind my saying so. You just have it on, which is noise. To somebody like me, it's noise, but to you, you thrive on it. And it also doesn't change your vibration.
I'm not driving on it.
No, you don't. You thrive on the chatter, but you derive. You firm up your own position and or receive information either despite or because of all that being on. Does that make sense?
But that's okay. Because I know there are also subliminal messages on the bottom of the screen, especially with cartoons and things for children. That's like another whole thing. I like, I'll tell you, again, it's not so much chatter or background noise. If there is a hurricane or something we need to know about, or an earthquake or a tornado approaching or anything like that, I'm not counting on my guides to tell me. They probably would tell me, but I also would like to hear a warning. I like things that are live, so that there's a certain degree of warning given. I come from a time where things were more dangerous than, well, now they're dangerous again, so I can't say that. That's. I also think people need to raise their energy with less gossip and small talk and things of no consequence. We need to raise our energy about where our mindset is. And I think the most important thing is the elimination of violence. Now, here's a real problem with violence. The problem with violence is that testosterone, which is what makes babies essentially and ensures a good sex life, also links up with violence and pornography. In most cases, it's very hard to have, I'm sorry this has taken a very X-rated twist, but I just wanted to talk about things that pull down the energy on the planet, which is violence.
Well, I love this topic because I get to talk about the divine union. But
yes,
yeah,
please do. But how do we deal with the consequence of violence, the elimination of violence, and yet keeping up the levels of testosterone, which is so difficult?
Well, because you are saying that the only way to keep the male testosterone at a high level is through violence, and I don't think
I'm saying it's linked together.
I don't know.
There's a link. There's a subliminal link between violence, sexuality, obviously, and testosterone, which is what keeps people on the planet.
I would say that is a fake, fabricated link that is not necessary for the raising of testosterone. Now, I'm not a male, and I don't have a lot of testosterone, thank God.
I would like to hear a male viewpoint of this, because this is something that really causes me sleepless nights.
Well, that shouldn't be the case. But here, can I just address the violence?
Please do.
So, first of all, the violence has been foisted upon us. Do certain men or male types, women included in that, thrive off of violence? Of course they do. It's the same kind of thing during sports events. The blood has risen, and there's a sense of competition. But of course, a sporting event is far healthier, unless of course you're killing people.
Well, like bullfighting is a perfect example.
Bullfighting is awful. I mean that should be illegal. Unquestionably. But the whole theme of violence has been propagated by the dark side. The violence that we find in video games, now you and I have gone back and forth on this, we have different opinions, but the violence that is in video games and on TV is not a product of audience demand. It is a product of social engineering, and it has created the demand. And the more that they give, the more that is wanted. It's the same way that they infuse fast foods with the chemicals that create more dopamine in our brains, because we then become addicted to it, and we want more, we want more, we want more. And it's not a product of us. If we were left to our own resources, we'd be eating fruit and vegetables and, more natural grains and things. But no, it was cultivated. Now, desire was created. They did the same thing with cigarettes. They laced the nicotine with highly addictive substances so that we crave this. We crave violence, or I don't, but people crave and feed on violence as though it is a drug. But it's not your natural state. And I don't believe that if we went back to the time of Lemuria, or a more peaceful, harmonious time, I wonder what the men then who had high testosterone were like, and where they were not feeding off of the suffering of others. Trust me, I know that much. So I don't know what the natural state of a high testosterone person is, but it's not this.
I don't even have an answer. I have nothing to say because I'm not a man. But I would love to know if there can be the separation that you're describing. I really don't know, because I haven't really had that much awareness about this.
Joyce, I have to interrupt you 1 quick second. We are about to be interrupted on our software, and so I have to go out and come back in. So
okay,
when I come, we have less than a minute, it's telling me. So
all right, well, good luck. God bless you. God bless all of us.
Unless you want to end it here.
I have no life, so whatever you wish. I only do readings, and I write books. I live like Mother Teresa, it's like.
No, don't say that. Mother Teresa was found out to be a trafficker.
But she was a Virgo. How bad could she have been?
Well, she was involved in trafficking.
She was a trafficking Virgo. There, you see.
There are some bad Virgos.
I find that so hard to believe. There's such a pristine sign. Thank you, Elaine.